Hey, it's Clark Reid with today's tech headlines. Now, if this one's all about Apple's Worldwide Developer Conference Keynote presentation, if you're purely a Windows or Android user, you probably want to skip this video. Mac OS, the next version, is going to be called Golden Gate. How about that? Adjust liquid glass from clear to tinted with the slider, and their new sidebars to expand the left edge of the window, and Apple icons are sharper and better defined. Well, we'll see what happens with that when it's released. Now, under the hood, they've made a lot of tweaks and apparently speeded up loading of apps and pictures on both Mac and iPhones. That's cool. And for Wi-Fi, this is really a useful tweak. When you're moving around, you won't have to manually switch to cellular and back to disconnect from, like an airport or a coffee shop Wi-Fi or the pestering Xfinity general Wi-Fi that always tries to auto-connect, and you don't want to be on that unsecured Wi-Fi. The index has been improved, which it desperately needed. So search will work better. I'm sorry. Email search is also improved. Boy, they can both use that. Just my opinion. And this is kind of cool. You can share photo albums with Android and Windows users, and they can contribute to an album, too, for, say, like a group or family trip. You can all intermingle your pictures in one place, which will be nice. Making a kid or child account blocks certain adult sites and enables parental controls. A kid can't download an app without parental control, and there's a new Ask to Browse feature that works with kids under 13. You can limit a child's screen time. They call this time allowances, like the allowance you may pay your kid. They're based on the child's age. Social media is actually not allowed by default for those under 13, but of course, kids hooky stuff around and lie about stuff, so who knows what'll happen with that. But at any rate, the kids are smart. They figure workarounds to all this. But Apple is trying, and then you give them a E for effort on that. Yeah, and by the way, Apple has launched a new website for parents to use these kid tools. So you can check that out and see what there is that, can help you. Now, AI and Apple. This is kind of the real meat and potatoes of today's keynote. The new and improved Siri AI, which was promised 2 years ago, but it's here now, at least for developers. The rest of us are going to have to wait until fall when the new operating systems are released, and there may be a wait list. We've heard that anyway, although they didn't mention that today. Apple's Tim Cook says truly helpful AI must be centered around the user and not just be for its own sake. Apple claims the new Siri AI will be much more responsive and deeply integrated, and they're clear that they have partnered with Google and Gemini, and they're trying to do as much as possible on the device itself for your privacy. Highly accurate dictation, that'll be nice. Better language understanding, that's a welcome addition. I've gotten some pretty hilarious messages that Apple's dictation had mangled from friends of mine. Personal context understanding. You can find items by just asking for them. Naturally, you can search the web, and it'll boil down the information in an overview for you. Now, privacy is and always has been a big deal at Apple, and they're emphasizing how AI privacy is on by default. The data is either on your device or Apple's private cloud, or even Apple can't see it, they say. The improved Siri includes personal context understanding and understands what's on your screen. There's a new dedicated Siri app, and it appears in the little bubble that Apple calls the dynamic island at the top of the screen, which expands to present your answer on your screen. You can even have a picture on your screen. Ask Siri what it is and where it is. It'll tell you. And the dedicated Siri app lets you sync chats with different Apple devices. So you can start a conversation with Siri on your iPhone, continue on your iPad or your Mac. Camera gets a new Siri mode, and this is kind of cool. You can aim the cam at something and ask Siri what you're seeing, like foods, or using a restaurant ticket to split the bill. And you can also ask it to generate a document and then go into that document and type. It'll automatically proofread, and it does that system-wide in real time, no matter what app you are using. A useful feature for Safari with AI, it can organize your tabs and topics and make it easier to stay organized. Notify Me will monitor a site and bring you to that tab back. For example, if you're checking out a product and you want to buy it and it's on sale, but it's not in stock, well, it will let you close the tab and it'll reopen it when that item is in stock and remind you about it. The cleanup feature in Photos is really cool. You can shift the perspective and move people around. Like if I'm off camera over one side or the other, you can center your subjects and it will kind of fill in the graphics, fill in the background, which is a pretty neat feature. Siri AI is going to come out later this year in beta. It will not be available in the EU or China at first until Apple works out things with those governments. I'm Clark Reid, and you're Technified for now.